Assalamualaikum and have a good day everyone. We are from group 7 and today we are going to share about Do you know what is actually depression? Depression is an emotional illness with certain criteria that may have a negative impact on how we think, feel and act. Or in other words, depression is a mood that sticks around for a long time and its impact a lot more of your life. Do you know, in Malaysia, the incidence of depression is rising alarmingly these days. One of the problems that frequently grabs the public's attention is depression, particularly when it affects teenagers and college students, who make up a unique subset of the population. The question now is, why students? It is because students are more likely to experience mental health problems, notably depression. So, in this video, we will talk more about the cause of depression as well as how it affects us. Before that, let me introduce first my group mate. Here we have Muhammad Asri, Yahya Mujahidin, me myself Nur Hafizah, and Nur Hamizah.
Assalamualaikum and hello everyone. So for today, I'm gonna discuss with you guys about smartphone addiction can lead to depression. So what do you understand about smartphone addiction? So basically, what is it mean by smartphone addiction is defined as the lack of control to use the smartphone despite adverse effects including financial, psychological, physical and the social harmful consequences on users. So first of all, in this, what is the causes of the smartphone addiction? So first of all, in this era, technology is developing rapidly, so fast, right? Especially with the introduction of the electronic devices like smartphones, laptops and other gadgets. So at the moment, smartphones actually offer a wide range of applications and features that might attract students to use them daily in order to allow students to connect with their friends, to complete the task given by lecturer instantly, because actually the internet is, the networking itself is very fast. You can search everything in the internet about 2 to 3 seconds. So sometimes students in university spend about 4 to 6 hours daily using their smartphone, especially for doing the social networking and chatting application with the other people or playing online games with their friends. So basically, many students are very love to play online games using their smartphones. So whenever I trying to make a research from the article on the internet, I found that a new study conducted by Raihana from UiTM Punca Alam reported that about around 55.6% of undergraduate students were addicted to smartphones. Particularly, female students spend more time on online chatting and social media. Therefore, smartphone overuse has been connected to the daytime fatigue, higher sleep latency, and shorter sleep duration. Problematic smartphone use has been repeatedly linked to sleeplessness, which is sleeplessness is about you don't have enough sleep, you don't have enough rest. Whenever students are not well rested, they might not have more energy and cannot focus in class. Because in order to stay focused and understand lecture in class, students actually must have a greater amount of energy in revising and recapping back things they already learned in class. So basically, the effect of smartphone addiction is students might feel unhealthy and lack of focus since they have been exposed to the smartphone throughout the day. They're using their phone throughout the day, every single day. So basically they may feel messy because many things need to remember, and their assignments might be delayed if they have lack of focus in the class. Hence, whenever students to start feel messy and they start to isolate themselves, they will start to feel depressed. Basically, when I go to read the research from the Lee, it said that students who excessively use their smartphones have a higher tendency to develop a low self-esteem because they would rather choose an online interaction to gain acceptance and attention from the others. The article was published in 2019. So, in addition to that, having some problems without solving them properly with the others, without sharing the problems with the others, perhaps it will cause someone to have a bad feelings and may lead to the depression. As a result, they start to distance themselves and struggle to interact with the people in person, face to face. So they may also find it is difficult to express their own emotion, and further this can make them feel totally depressed.
Assalamualaikum and have a good day to Madam and my fellow friends. First of all, before I continue our presentation, let me introduce myself first. My name is Nurhamizah binti Asnan and my matrix number is A21EM0189. Alright, without wasting any time, let me start it. The point that I would like to raise is, do academic expectations can be also related to depression among students? In our opinion, yes, academic expectations can be related to depression among students. I will bring two situations that can be well explained about the academic expectations which can make students to fall into depression. First situation is where we can see there are some students that put high expectations in their academic performance as a motivation for them to success, even though they know the extent of their abilities. In order to achieve the high goals that they have been targeted, they have to put lot of effort to make it real. If the students can be going well with that, then it should not be a problem. It should be okay. The problem is when the student cannot go with it. They will feel like they have let down themselves as they realize the gap between what they expect and how their self really are. In the end, the students will risk to collapse into depression. The second situation can be seen in typically students who are want to maintain their academic performance. This might become along with the pressure from their parents that one day keep their good grades and good results. Students have to work hard to achieve it, but at the same time, the students might unable to achieve their specific target in certain subject as well as having a learning problem. As a result, they keep pushing themselves to put lot of effort to understand the subject. As a consequence, the students are risky to get depression as they keep focus on their study and keep study hard until they neglect their mental health. Do you know why? There have some study by Jima University which states that second year students have higher tendency to get into depression compared to first year students. Now, let's see what are the effects of academic expectations. The first effect is students were unable to cooperate with their study. If this happens, it will lead to the second effects, which are they might fail in certain subjects, miss a greater number of classes and assignments, or tend to drop out from university. Moving on to the third effects, which is student will burn out due to have a long exposure to the repeated achievement pressure. And last but not least, as a final effects, students will facing a psychological collapse and then fall into depression. To sum up, students must not put their hopes and expectations too high because you will end up disappointing yourself.
Always bear in mind that some things are beyond our control, and we have to know our own abilities and limits. That's all from me for the second point. Now, let's go to the next presenter, who is Yahya.
Thank you, Hamiza, my fellow friends, and madam. So that brings us on to the next question that might arise in our discussion. So, is there any possibilities that depression among students may come from poor relationship among peers? The answer is yes, but what are the causes of said relationship? Let's dive into it. Humans are social creatures. Having a social support is good support for mental health, especially among students because it acts as a buffer against stressful life events. In university, students will definitely experience a period of psychological challenges and adaptations. Having a good quality friend will really help in going through that phase. A good quality of friendship in adolescence plays an important role for students' development, as there is research done that shows a positive correlation between friendship quality and depression among students in Jakarta. However, our life, unfortunately, is not a happy Disney movie. It is not all sunshine and roses. There must be sometimes students will have to face a problem with their friend, as they might have a different opinion on something and could not tolerate each other. Eventually, it causes misunderstandings and arguments among them. If this kind of problem persists, cannot be solved among them properly, it will affect the relationship and lead to depression, and eventually will affect their study as well. The American Academy of Child and Adolescent Psychiatry 2013 also discovered that depression, which happens due to friendship issues, can be characterized by having an interpersonal impairment, notably by their interaction with friends and some other impairment problems. In short, having problems with friends can be considered as the most influencing factor of depression among university students, as they spend a lot of time with their friends compared to their family. So, let us move on to the next slide. What are the effects of poor relationship with peers, you may ask? Number one, initially they will feel down due to loss of mental support. For instance, a student will feel down when they have problems with their friends, any type of problems that may cause misunderstandings or arguments among them. When their relation is affected, it will cause the person involved in that conflict to feel down. And if this continuously happens, they will lack the source of affections and sympathy, which can also affect their emotions as well as their mental health. Eventually, this will possibly contribute to the increment level of depression among university students. That's all from me. Thank you.
To sum up everything, we know that depression actually has a number of causes. But as mentioned earlier, in this video, we only focus on some of the reasons, such as smartphone addiction, poor academic performance, and dysfunctional peer relationships have a very serious effects on university students. When students are depressed, it may be difficult for them to focus on their academic. They may be able to act in ways that are unreasonable. We must always keep in mind that if we do not properly address depression, we may be at risk. Therefore, parents and other welfare parties should work together to handle this type of issue, since alone we could be small, but together we can stand some giants tall, as the saying goes. So that's all from us. Thank you.